Hey, AP Statsers, and welcome to week 3 of second semester. I want to talk about two things this week. The first is your next deadline, which is going to be this Friday by 3 p.m. You have to have all of Chapter 8 completed. That would include a two-part test. So for this test, it is a complete multiple choice exam where it's 10 multiple choice questions and then one review free response that's related to Chapter 1 and Chapter 4, just to kind of keep you in the groove for that prior topics. The second test is just free response, and that is just 2 free response questions. I would say, plan for the free response, maybe 30 minutes to take that one. For the multiple choice, probably a full traditional hour in case you need all of that time. If you are planning on taking your test on the Wednesday or Thursday, a full block or win day of that 90-minute session is all you would get for that, and that would be enough time to take those two. If you're going to take it on traditional days, you might want to plan to do 2 traditional days for that, or at least kind of 1.5 traditional hours. If you do them back to back, you again are not allowed to leave once you started testing. So just kind of keep that in mind and let me know how I can help you out. The second thing is just the topics of chapters 8 and chapter 9. One of the things I've mentioned in the videos is a reference sheet, and I have printed this out. It's right here. It's a quick reference sheet. It's a 2-page document, and I have it on cardstock for you. So if you want this, and you might want it, I normally don't give it to you until chapter 9, but if you want it early on, it's kind of a cheat sheet. You can't use it on the test, but it's really nice to have, talking about what are the conditions you have to check for various confidence intervals, what's the difference between the proportions, the means, and things like that. As we learn chapters 8, 9, 10, and 11, and 12, we're going to add more tests and more confidence intervals to that. So please feel free to swing in and get that. Now, if you look at chapters 8 through 12, again, they're all in yellow, so they're all topic 4, procedures of inferences and things of that nature. As I mentioned last week, chapters 8 and 9 are the foundation of all of this. So you might feel at times that you're struggling a little bit with some of the things in 8 and 9, and that's okay, and that's normal. It takes time to learn it. As you know, with anything in math, repetition makes you better at it. So you're just learning these for the first time. If you have questions, I highly recommend that you come and see me, and maybe we, chit chat for 2 to 3 minutes, and I help clarify some things. I've already had a few people do that, and I can tell it has helped them. And I think it's better for you to come see me and we have a quick talk versus you stew over something for, 10, 20, 30 minutes trying to understand it. So if you hit that wall at any time, please come and see me. I'm more than happy to give you some clarification. The other thing, again, chapter 8 is all about this thing called the confidence interval. You're going to have to decide basically 2 things in this rest of these yellow folders. One is, do they want me to construct a confidence interval or test? And is it for the means or proportions? The thing to keep in mind, how do you know if we're talking means versus proportions? If someone's doing a survey and they're doing a survey and they're asking you and you give a word answer, remember that is a qualitative type of answer. That is a proportion. We can't compute a mean when everyone says yes or no. We can count them though and come up with a proportion or a ratio. So whenever that answer is qualitative or a word answer, it's a proportion. If they give an answer that's numeric, that makes sense to compute an average for example, if I survey what are the heights of everyone in the room, that height is a number that I could put in my calculator and get an average or a means for. So it's quantitative. That's a means. So if you can first work on deciding, is it a proportions or a means, that's going to help you tons, because that's what the rest of 8 through 12 is going to ask you. They're going to give you a scenario, you figure out which one it is. The next thing they're going to say is either construct a confidence interval, which you're learning about right now in chapter 8, or when you get into chapter 9, they're going to say, do a test. Well, when you do chapter 9, you'll learn how to do that. Chapter 8, the confidence intervals, it's good to understand the formula, how that works. Remember, it's the point estimate plus or minus the critical value times that standard error. That critical value in the standard error is considered the margin of error. So that concept and being able to maybe reference the formula sheet could be helpful for you. However, using the calculator to construct these intervals is really a nice, slick thing. And that's where maybe looking at this, the quick reference could help you too to kind of see some of the shortcuts. So learning the calculator keystrokes for this is very important, I think, because when we hit chapter 9, again, there's some ways you can do it on paper, but chapter 9, there's buttons on your calculator to perform a test. So if you know where to go for 8 and 9 and understand that, it's really going to help you once we get 10, 11, and 12. So as you're doing this learning again, please reach out to me for any help. I want to help you feel good about this topic, and trust me, you will get better with this topic as we start going through the remainder of the chapters. So have a great week and let me know how I can help you out. See you soon. Bye.